Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Evan Better Presents Feed the Beast. And here we are, the newest addition to our tank setup. This is kind of just what I had to work with because I didn't have enough space to put in another one of these big iron tanks. I do like the way that the big iron tanks look. I guess I could if I moved everything over a little bit, but I don't really need to do that. I just need a little bit of fuel here. This isn't the real big fuel storage tank anyways. This is just the reservoir which will give constant flow to the liquid boiler. Here we are with our giant tank of oil connected directly into our ME network, and then here is our iron tank slowly filling up. Should go up to 3.4 in a second, or 2.4000 or whatever in a second here. It should still be filling up. 2.496. Okay, it is. The way that I did this is I pulled out all the shit that was in here. If you guys remember, there was a lot of barrels, extra storage for stuff that I didn't use and didn't need. And I put in 4, count them, 4 refinery pluses that are maxed out. As you can see here, I have no more experience. I used it all up. I just put the last one in just a second ago. So, I had 2 in here originally, and it wasn't producing enough fuel. Even maxed out refinery pluses weren't producing enough fuel, so I put in 4. The amount flowing through is enough that, and the power requirements are enough that I'm not having an issue anymore. So, 4 refinery pluses. My deep storage cells are there. I'll add more as time goes on. The power plant. Oh, the sun's coming up. It's a brand new day. We're getting a bizarrely large source of power out of this thing somehow. I'm not going to mess with it. It shouldn't be able to produce what it's producing. You can see it's jumping between like 500 and 5,000 output. I don't really understand how that's possible. It should not be able to output that much power. There's not that much power going into it. But I'm not going to screw with that because I'll take free power any day of the week. This thing's still got its issue where every time I load the server up, it seems to disconnect. I don't know. The green light is on, so it is actually connected, but the actual item is not covering it, so I don't know if that means it is connected or it's not connected. I think it is because the green light is on, whereas when you remove it, the green light goes off. So I think it's still connected. It's just got an invisibility glitch. We are currently producing a little bit of steam because we've got our fuel going into our liquid boiler. It is now up to 219. It will cap out at 500, and we're producing some steam. The way I have it set up right now is 2 lines come out of the high-pressure boiler, which doesn't really affect it too much, so it's okay. And then 2 lines are coming out of the low-pressure boiler here, which is also a 36. That's a 36 HP, and this is a 36 LP. And they join up with those same 2 lines. I'm thinking that should be enough pressure, steam pressure in the lines to constantly fill that tank. I have 1 line extracting it, which then connects back up to the 4 upper lines that connect to our, whoops, broke my foot. That connect to our industrial steam engines, which are producing 8 megajoules, so that is correct. I've turned the output on this thing down. I can do it a little bit further, I think. I've still got the nuclear reactor downstairs working. I'm going to just turn these all down up to 90 here. Leave the center one at 80. That'll bring the output of the big reactor down a little bit. It was at like 4. I don't need it that high. 2 is good enough. Our capacitor bank should still be stable. Yep, it is. It is. I was trying to set up something here using, if I can find it, an EU detector. This guy right here. All right, I was trying to set up something where the EU detector, because this line here comes from the reactor, right? So I had it set up so that this line here was connecting up here, and I had an EU detector here. This is my thought, is that how am I going to know when the reactor is like when the 5-hour cycle is finished, right? Unless I'm paying attention, I'm not going to remember that the 5-hour cycle is finished until I realize that, holy shit, my capacitor bank is draining power, which is the way I've been noticing it right now. So I tossed this EU detector on this line here, and it should technically be able to output a redstone signal when it detects EU flowing through it. That's the whole purpose of the EU detector. It lights up. Let's see if maybe it just doesn't work on glass fiber cable. No, you see this? This should be outputting a signal now. And it's not. So the only conclusion I can come to is the EU detector doesn't work. And I thought the EU splitter could be a similar could work a similar way, because the EU splitter, from what I understand, is when you put a redstone signal to the EU splitter, it cuts off power. But it wasn't working either. So those two devices just don't work. I'm sure they're fixed in a newer version, but I don't have it. For the meantime, I have disconnected the geothermal generators from the EU network. They were just using up lava that I didn't feel like wasting. There's no need. I have a nuclear reactor that's outputting power in both over here and right here. And I have this steam turbine housing, which is picking up the rest of the need of steam. And as this heats up more and more and more, I'm sorry about the lag, I must have something backing up or something. As this pressure boiler heats up more and more, it'll produce more power for me. So I don't need any more output. I've got my. I'm not going to switch this over to a high pressure boiler. I don't need the extra steam. I don't believe so. I'm going to leave it like that. These guys here are consuming a fair amount of power, but they are outputting basically my requirements of lava. Between that and these magmas, and the magmas are full right now, except, well, not all of them. I'm basically getting all the lava I need just out of these 6 machines right here, so I don't even need to be worrying about the nether. I have a thought of what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to hook the ME network directly into this tank right here, basically, on this backside. And I'm going to disconnect these 2 input faces. I'll leave the switch here for turning shit on and off, but the way it's going to work is this is basically going to be the tank that supplies lava into the ME network. And that way I don't have to just rely on this guy here, which this is kind of a buffer tank. Really, it doesn't really give me a shit ton of lava. It burns through really quickly. So that's what I was thinking about doing with that. But let's go over, take a look at the farm. I also finished the automation on the farm. I'm sure I didn't show you guys any of this stuff. I just kind of got into a mindset, and I just kept going with it. But you can basically see here, it's exactly the same. I changed the whole layout to adjust for this. Underneath here is a planter. You can kind of see it underneath there somewhere. So the planter's under there. It automatically plants, in this case, ender crops. Our item collector hooked up to the chest, which is then again hooked up to the ME network, automatically pulls anything that gets dropped here that the harvester doesn't get. The harvester is, of course, hooked up to the ME network as well. I don't have a fertilizer here. I don't need to. I don't want to. This crop can slowly grow on its own. And we have glowstone over here. It's exactly the same setup. There's a planter underneath there. You can kind of see it. There it is right there. See? Planter. Item collector, exactly the same setup. Harvester, exactly the same setup. And over here we have uranium crop. And the reason I chose uranium crop is because uranium is a finite source. Let's see. I'm too far away to use a wireless. But there's not a lot of uranium in the system as far as raw uranium. So this allows me to have some replenishing raw uranium for the reactor. So everything is completely automated. I never have to touch this crop again. All I have to do, and I could actually set it up so it does this. Oh. I could set up some automation for this too, because right now all that happens is when it harvests that shit, I go over to the thing, I go essence, and I'm actually getting a lot of uranium seeds. And I don't understand why there's so many uranium seeds dropping, but you can see here, as it harvests, it's going up by a lot. But I have to type in essence at the current point, and I can automate this as well, truth be told. There we go. That's pretty much how that works. So I just walk over to the table, and create it. Oops. I will have to, at some point, automate this because I'm going to end up with like an ass ton of essence in the system. But, you know, these are the main things I run out of. Ender pearls are used for any Ender IO stuff, so I need Ender pearls big time. Glowstone is used in these circuits and 100 other things for applied energistics. And then uranium is used for my nuclear reactor. So those are the three things I need a lot of at the moment. So, yeah, that's what that is. simple as that. Oh, come on, open up. So the bulletin board has got a lot more things completed on it. Refinery for oil. Done. Storage for fuel. Done. Convert over to ME fluid storage. I haven't done that yet for everything. I'm gonna start integrating all of the water. Maybe not the water. The water doesn't need to. The aqueous accumulator and the pump are providing enough water. This thing will never ever run out. But the lava I definitely want to put into the ME network, so I haven't done that yet. Haven't created a breeder reactor yet to deal with the spent uranium, depleted uranium. I've got a lot of hours before that happens. I mean, each cycle is over 5 hours long, so I got plenty of time. Automate MOX fuel enrichment, haven't done that. Automate farms, this is done. Make more deep storage cells, I haven't done that. I have done that, excuse me. And redo steam pipe system, I've done that. So, a few more goals completed. I did go and into the Mistcraft world, age 3, set up some more oil extraction because I had pulled almost all the oil that was in the wells I was using. I had pulled it all out, so I had to go set up some more. And eventually I will add a few more in there too so that I never have to go back. But that involves making tesseracts. As you know, tesseracts are a bitch to make. And this was a lot more compact than I thought, so I figured, why the hell not just throw it in here? This building doesn't serve a purpose anymore, so aside from holding my deep storage units. Speaking of these storage units, let's go take a look just how much I've got in some of these things here. 480, well, I don't need to do that, do I? 481,000 redstone. I turned off the cobblestone intake again because I was just getting way too much of it. I don't need that much. Essence dusts are up. Rubber's way up. Coal is good. You know, each one of these has a thing. A lot of my stuff is limited. Here's rubber. What's in this one? And then this one. Bloodwood. Oh, it's cycling through shit. Okay, well, let's pick something for it to go in there. What to put in there? Let's put these uranium seeds in there. Stop it! Stop screwing with me. Okay, well, we have to put it in the bus because the bus is just grabbing random stuff right now. There we go. And we're just going to put an export bus to bring the existing stuff on the hard drive. What do I want? I need ME cable. Let's craft some more of this shit. I run through this stuff pretty fast. And we'll set up this export bus. There we are. Full stacks. Okay, so that's going to pull all the stuff out of the system, put it in the deep storage unit, and the deep storage unit will then be accessed by the ME storage bus. Exactly the same style of setup I have on these tanks here. It dumps everything into the tank, and then the tank can be accessed via the fluid storage bus. These guys here are just directly pumping into the ME network. There's no storage for them aside from that the fuel storage that's over by the steam pipes. You know, I'm kind of at a point now, guys, where I've mastered everything to do with applied jet energistics. I've just, like I said, I want to hook up. This tank is. I got to find a way to get. Well, more steam will be produced into this tank as soon as that low pressure boiler heats up a little bit more. But I want to find a way to. Obviously, I'm gonna move this over to the ME network, and any other fuels over to the ME network. Oh, don't trickle me. But I got to figure out something to do now. Like I need to either start involving myself with rotary craft, which I swore I wouldn't do because I don't like the premise of rotary craft, or I got to start finding. I got to start going on some adventures in the ages. Start making something out of all of these different pages I've got. You can see here I've got absolute ass ton of pages. There's no extra ores in any of these, unfortunately. That's what I was hoping for to find, but I didn't find any. I got to start doing something though because I'm running out of things to do. I'm getting bored, and I don't want to get bored because I like this. But for right now, for the next 15 minutes, let's just go to the Nether. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Let's grab the wrench. That's what I should do, is I should set up... the Nether to deal... You know what? That is what I'm going to do. Alright, so let's make a couple more Tesseracts. I don't know if I have any Tesseracts in the system or not. We'll find out in a second. I don't. So let's go and get ourselves some Tesseracts. And we're going to set up the pumps in the Nether to feed directly into the Tesseracts. I also have some ideas, which I don't. I wish I could, because I thought about it. I was thinking, how can I collect more of the lava in the Nether, right? And I thought about a fluid transition pane, which is... It's this thing here. Basically, I have one of these. I have one of these guys here. But basically, the way this works is anything that touches this input gets sucked into the ME network. So I thought, what if I put transition panes into, like, at the bottom of a lava lake? You know, my armor can protect me long enough to get into a lava lake, or I could like isolate myself by building a wall around the lava lake, and then anything that flows into the transition pane would be digitally moved to the ME network. But how can I bring the ME network into the other dimension? So I don't know how to do that. There's a dimensional transceiver which acts like a tesseract, but only for energy, I understand. So I don't know. I don't think that would work. I'll have to do a test server thing on that to figure that out for sure. But well, that'll be something else for another day, because I want to find out another way to pump lava out of the Nether, a faster, more efficient way that doesn't end up leaving me a lot of dripping, running lava everywhere, right? Like, that's a pain in the ass. So I don't have any Enderium, really. I really need to set up a machine to make this shit. I've been doing enough work with it now that it's becoming a pain in the ass. So, do I have pyrotheum dust? I have 80 pyrotheum dust. I got plenty. And do I have Enderium blend? No, there's no way I have Enderium blend, because I don't have liquid Enderium. Or liquid Ender. So I need some buckets. Really? This happens every once in a while. You'll see here it's stuck. It won't craft. The way to solve that problem, I don't know why this happens exactly. It just gets caught up in here. Just pull it from the Mac and place it back in, and there you go, it works. Every once in a while, the Mac just doesn't want to update for some reason. I don't understand exactly why it's doing that. I should probably find a way to set it up so that I can just cut the Mac out of the system and boot it back on. But I just don't understand why it's giving me these problems. I haven't figured it out yet, but no huge deal. So let's get our bucket. There we go. See, it works. All right. And we'll stick it into the fluid transposer. And let's get some ender pearls going on. We got 163 of them now. Let's put 32 into the magma crucible. This is another thing. I'm going to have to automate this. It is just something I'm going to have to do soon because I'm at a point now where I'm burning through enough ender pearls and shit like that I have an automated system for producing ender pearls now, which I didn't before. But that's another step. So I think that'll go on the bulletin board. It'll be we'll make it so that we can auto produce ender pearls, and we'll set it up so that the magma crucible is full of liquefied ender. And then we'll set up a machine to make us Enderium. Kind of like how we have machines over here that make us Electrum to make our golden energy pipes. Same idea. And we'll just leave a few of these buckets in the system for making tesseracts. Tesseracts are, of course, the most difficult late-game item to make, in my opinion. It requires, well, like, just, it's stupidly resource-intense, right? So let's just pump these into the system, and then we can make a bunch of that. What did we run out of? Tin? Pulverized tin. You telling me I don't have any frickin' tin? Bullshit. That's it? I don't have any more pulverized tin? Really? Kind of surprised by that. Do I have a pulverizer in this room? This will work just fine. No, it won't. I need pulverized tin. But I need to find a way to pulverize the tin without it being sucked into the adjacent furnace. Oh, blaze powders. Shit on me, I left the blaze powders in there. Totally forgot about that. Okay, I'll just have to watch to make sure that they... Oh, actually, I have a solution. I'll just block that off. There we go. Okay. Let's do the same for this one. We'll just turn that off for a sec. Throw the tin in here. Yeah, our levels are all pretty good. We have haven't got any issues here, so I don't know. Today's episode is kind of boring episode. Sorry, guys. There's not really much to do. I think I'm probably going to call it here then, just instead of wasting your time watching me pulverize tin to make tesseracts. I'll make one tesseract so you guys aren't just completely wasting your time with me here. Okay. That's fair, isn't it? Make some Enderium blend. There we go. We got 40 Enderium blend. Now we got to put the Enderium blend into a induction smelter with the pyrotheum dust, which I'm going to use U for. There we go. That will make me Enderium ingots. Okay. Let's just make a little bit more. Oh, we're out of we're out of Ender. Okay. So figures. That's typical. That's par for the course, isn't it? Anyway, okay, so that's it, guys. I'm going to make myself one Tesseract because I think I got enough Enderium in the system now to do that. Tesseract frame, boom. There's our Tesseract frame. Then we take the Tesseract frame and we fill it with more Ender. And we stick the frame. Nope, we don't want a magma crucible frame. Stick the frame in there. Let's grab some more ender pearls. And any second now we'll have a full ender frame. And then we take the ender frame. This is why these are so incredibly hard to make. So now I have a full ender frame, right? You'd think that'd be it, because it looks like it's finished. No. Now you have to take the ender frame that is now full, and put that in the system, and I'm going to make a Tesseract, which requires copper and silver. Sorry, bronze and silver. Boom. Now we have a Tesseract. Hence why I say Tesseracts are the most difficult thing in the game to make. It is a pure endgame item. It is incredibly difficult to manufacture. I can't believe I'm not producing enough steam to keep this tank full. I thought for sure I would have enough steam. Like, where's this thing at? Producing steam, ain't you? Yeah, and those are producing steam. Yeah, those are steam too. Alright, let's just... I guess we're just consuming more steam than we're producing at the moment. We'll see how this thing works when it's full of temp. How are we doing on our power? Solid. Okay. And then what are you doing? You're up to 50%. Okay. Our power issues are completely solved, guys. I mean, we've got 3... That's the equivalent of what? 1,500 freaking solar panels up there. Those 3 there. Because they're 512 each. 1,536 solar panels in those 3 little solar panels right there. So, I think that's pretty boss. Our power is solved. We finally did this thing here. We got a tank holding creosote oil, which we'll never use again. I don't know. We're pretty much done for energy production. I have a nuclear reactor. I have 2. I have to make a breeder reactor. That's about the last thing for energy production, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, gonna call it here, guys. I have my Tesseract. Next episode, we're gonna go to the Nether, convert the Nether over to the style of pump that we have in the Mistcraft realm, Dimension 3, Age 3, because that's just a much more efficient, pumping it directly into our AE network is a much more efficient way of doing things. So that's what we'll be doing next episode. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I'll see you then.